Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the Gimme Wrestling Podcast. I am Ant, and today I want to talk a little bit about wrestling promotion. Not necessarily wrestling promotions, but wrestling promoting matches that are coming up later on in the month or in the year. Something that I feel AEW has done a stellar job at doing. Like 3 weeks prior to Kenny Omega and Pac having their rubber match, we knew about it. It was advertised each week. Other great examples of AEW, if you look at Full Gear, after Full Gear, we knew coming out of that what the next match at the pay-per-view was going to be in Cody Rhodes and MJF, and it's happening. And I think that's great promotion. That gets us excited about the matches. That makes us think about the matches. But also, they've got all this time to tell these awesome stories. The Cody MJF build-up to Revolution has been absolutely outstanding. WWE, on the other hand, are giving us 6-man tag matches at the end of Raw, which aren't really furthering on any stories. They're just sort of there to get a load of guys in. It doesn't feel like a big deal. We're not told about the matches in advance. A lot of the time we don't know what matches we're getting next week at Raw. It's sort of brought out in a press release a day prior to Raw. How is that storytelling that's sort of cohesive and keeps us sort of entertained, as opposed to what AEW is doing, which is telling us what matches we're going to get, so we know what to look forward to in the future. Part of the reason that WWE can't do this is because they don't book enough in advance. I mean, obviously there's Vince McMahon, and he can probably be blamed for a lot of it, in that he doesn't make a decision, or if he changes his mind, then something just gets thrown out of the window, and that might include the superstar with it, let alone the entire story. Look at the Rusev-Lashley feud that happened recently, something with sort of a lot of time given to it, a lot of YouTube views given to it. It may not have been my cup of tea, but I respect the fact that it was long-term storytelling that never had any sort of conclusive ending. We might still get that, but right now we feel like we're in sort of limbo. Has that gone? Is that not gone? Is that still there? It's a bit weird, and long-term storytelling is no longer WWE's forte. Royal Rumble is an interesting thing within WWE, because that sort of forces them into some sort of long-term storytelling. Royal Rumble happens probably around 3 months to 4 months before WrestleMania, and at that point we know our WrestleMania main events, be that female or male, so at least 2 matches they're forced to have as long stories going forward. I don't feel they always do the best with them, but that's by the by. A week or two after Full Gear, we knew that we was getting Jericho and Moxley at the next pay-per-view, and that we were seeing the build-up to that. You know, these promotions like WWE, if they told people the matches they were getting, I think that people would be more invested in it. Another example, me and Dom often do pay-per-view predictions on this podcast. Sometimes we'll look at the pay-per-view card like a day or two before the show, and it's not complete yet. There'll be matches that are unannounced. How does that work? How does that build up any excitement for the actual pay-per-view itself? Because when we get into that match, it's not something that we was expecting, and it ends up just being, it might be the great wrestling match. They've got some wonderful talent in WWE. They're just not promoting it in the way that I think that they should be. Sorry for a couple of these videos talking about how AEW is doing things better than WWE. And that's not to say that AEW is perfect, because I know that AEW does have a lot of detractors who don't like the style of wrestling, and that's fine. However, when it comes to promotion, AEW are doing it right. WWE flopping all over the place at the minute. It'd be great to hear your opinions on this, and how do you compare the two? Do you think AEW is doing a better job if you watch them both, or does it not bother you? Are you happy with the surprise that you get at a WWE pay-per-view when you have Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade, which I think is one example of one that we didn't know about until the day of the pay-per-view or something daft like that? Let us know what you think. It's so weird, because WWE were notorious at one point for being one of the best wrestling promoters in the world, WrestleMania especially, you know. And now I'm filming this prior to Super Showdown. We don't know what's happening there, and I suppose that causes some excitement, but that's only because we want to know what WrestleMania is going to be. It's an interesting topic, and it'd be great to hear your opinions on it. Let us know down in the comments below, or hit us up on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon. But really, honestly, hitting a like really helps these videos come out. And let us know what else you want to see me do a video on. You know, give me an idea. Make it easy for me. Cool. Until next time, keep it gay.